Alright, welcome back everybody to the next episode of the Elden Ring All Bosses Walkthrough. Last episode we just cleared out all of the lower part of Shifra River, everything that we have access to anyway, and beat the Ancestor Spirit. And we are now at our first legacy dungeon of the game, Stormveil Castle. So, this is from the Margit bonfire, so if you haven't beaten him, you'll need to in order to get into this area in the first place, so make sure you do that. I've also got a Site of Grace right away, very reminiscent to the Dragon Slayer armor bonfire in Dark Souls 3, immediately immediately followed by the Grand Archives one. Just love it. Alright, so a few items we can grab down here. A little walkway we can drop down onto. Go underneath here. It is really dark. I don't think I've ever actually done this at nighttime before, so it's really dark. Okay, then you can look across the way and see, oh, there's an item over there. Can't get there, though. No way to access it. So that's really it for these few items you can get down here below. To exit out, we'll just come over here, out this hole. Drop down, and then back up the stairs. Alright, so as you approach the castle, you'll see that the main gate is closed. So, can't go in there, although, if we come over here to the left, you'll have an NPC start to talk to you.
Come over here, would you? It's tightly. The guards, you breached them.
So this is Gostok, he's telling you that, don't use the main gate because there's just a bunch of soldiers and stuff that are waiting to kill anybody who walks in. And so he's saying to take a back road, essentially, through the castle. So you do have the option to save if you want to use the main gate. Usually if you're speedrunning the game, that's the easier way to do it, to get to the boss of this area faster. But if you're trying to get everything done throughout the area, then definitely recommended that you agree with him and go through the back end of everything. If you say, no, I'll use the main gate, he'll say, okay, whatever you want, and then you go out to the main gate and he'll call for the guards to open it up. And yeah, there's just a bunch of enemies just waiting for you, so take that as you will. But we're going to come up the side of the castle here. Alright, now in this side area you're going to be introduced to one of the more annoying enemies of the game. Birds with literal swords on their talons. Gotta love it. The things that Miyazaki comes up with. These guys can be really annoying, especially some of them later in the level that throw like exploding barrels at you and stuff. They're just awful. Alright, now if you come up here, if you look down below, you'll see the next Site of Grace, so you can end it just there if you want to and skip over this part over here. There are just a couple more items you can grab, though, if you don't want to miss anything. Ooh, GoldenEye one. Ouch! Where did this guy come from? Oh, 2 GoldenEye ones. What in the... I don't think I've ever seen that. Alright, well, plenty of runes for us. That's awesome. Alright, over here is the item from across the chasm that we saw before. Alright, now as you come over here to this item, just beware there are 2 birds up there waiting to ambush you. They got aggroed from forever away this time. Ouch. Nice. Woo! Perfect. Okay, that's it for this little area here. So go ahead and hit that site of grace now. Alright, now we're going to be getting into the castle proper. You can see that guard up there. If he sees you, he's going to blow his horn and alert everybody to your presence. So just be aware. You can wait for him to turn around and leave if you want, just like that. He won't like permanently leave, but this will give you an opportunity to get up to him and not alert the guards. Ouch. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Throwing fire pots at you. Alright. He's not the only one. If you go up to that area above, you'll see that there are more enemies throwing those fire pots at you. You can roll through all these boxes if you want for fun. There's nothing in them though. But what would a Souls game be without rolling through stuff? Okay, so I'm going to roll through these real quick and then backtrack as those fire pots are thrown. The reason being is they can easily hit those exploding barrels and kill you. So I like to get rid of some of them if possible. Perfect. We can jump up, grab this item, and we can fall down on this guy. Boom. And here's the guy throwing them from before. And we can go up this ladder. Oh, hello. Perfect. Okay. So, that's just another way of reaching this point up here by getting past this guy who normally throws fire bombs. We'll backtrack a little bit and grab that item at least. And yeah, this is where we jumped in. You'll see that door over there. It is locked. We do need a key that you find in just a little bit to open it. So we're going to keep on moving forward. Drop down and grab this. Jump across the way. Alright. Okay, so through this door, as you enter the room, a little cutscene's going to play where you'll hear a laugh. It's actually Godrick, the one who, told us to go this way. He's going to close the door behind you and get you trapped in a room with a banished knight. Which, they're no joke. Early game. You can hear that laugh. Freaking punk. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, what in the... There we go. Okay, a couple items to grab in here. Most important one being that key that I was talking about before. We also get the curved sword talisman. And there's the rusty key. So we can open this back up. Run over here and drop down straight to that door that we need to go to. One more item to grab over here. Okay. Climb all the way up this ladder. And the way you want to go is left, but there are some more items we can grab if we head over to the right side. So we're, of course, going to do that. Nope. Alright, grab this item. You'll see that item over there and be like, oh, how do I get there? Well, you just want to jump up here. Oh, I almost just died there. As far as this one goes, you actually have to drop down from over there in order to grab that legendary item. So we'll be doing that later. I don't believe there's anything over there. And boom, there you go, brick hammer. Only bummer is now we have to go back up that giant ladder again. Okay, now as you come to the left, beware, there is one of these servant people who is going to ambush you around the corner and grab you. So, definitely happened to me on my first playthrough. Not fun, so just be warned. Alright, now that we've made it out here, remember, I don't think there's anything down there. Yep, okay. So that purple item that I was showing before, how you get it is by coming over this way. Well, sorry. Well, this is one item. The way you get the other one is to go up the stairs. And then drop down onto right here. And here you go. Arterial leaf, not worth. I hate seeing these purple items and being like, ooh, something good, just for it to be a freaking arterial leaf. Alright, now there's another banished knight up here. This is a spear version. Just as the key to most elite enemies in this game, just jump, attack, stagger. that's the key to victory. Alright, up these stairs we go. And we'll get to our next almost said bonfire. I mean, same thing. Our next site of grace. Okay, so before we continue on through that door, there are a few more things that we can grab over here. This is a shortcut elevator we'll be able to unlock a little bit later. If we jump across the way here, got an item. Okay, to get over here, just want to jump on this wheel. Hello. Oh, goodbye. And there's that item. Okay, then if we come around here, this takes us outside. That guy's gonna call all his buddies. And I might pass time manually. I'm kind of sick of being in the dark here. I realize how hard it is to see everything in this area when it's dark. Ouch, that hurt. Okay. Oh, hello. Creeping up on me. Okay, now this item is not all there is in this area. You can actually come up here. You'll see, oh, there's a nice little drop down. Now if we come all the way over here, we can drop down and grab this item. Alright, and then boom. So up there is right outside where that site of grace is. So if you're wondering where we are in comparison to that, it's just, yeah, it's just here. Normally you would just jump from over that building over to here to be able to access it. Okay, up here we've got a new version of the birds. These things can, like, you can see they have a sword on their beak, so they can attack you with that. But they can also, like, send, like, these, like, sparks out that explode towards you. They can really, really suck. Alright, so before we continue on that way, we can actually come up here. Do a little bit of platforming. And we've got this area. Alright, I don't believe there's anything over here. Nope. Okay, then we can go up this ladder. Oh, hello. I was going to say, I could have sworn there was, like, more enemies than that. Go all the way up. And we get the Claw Talisman, which we are putting on right away. This talisman is awesome. I'm going to do that over the assassins. It enhances all your jump attacks. So, as you've been seeing at this point, jump attacks are the key to victory when it comes to the majority of the enemies in this game and, you know, bosses. So, being able to have something that powers that up, amazing. So, we will gladly put that on. Definitely an item you don't want to miss. Alright, that's it for that little section. So, now we're good to drop down to this part and continue on. Okay, you'll see that Banished Knight over there before we go. Just need to remind myself if there's anything over here. That's somewhere we'll be able to get to later. We don't need to drop down and get locked at that part. Alright. Boom, and he had golden eyes, so that's going to be a good chunk of souls there, or runes. Alright, watch for this dude. Okay. As you look over to the side here, you can go across this roof and down in that hole if you want to. Across the way, over in that doorway towards the far side, is another site of grace, and we're getting close to the boss of this area, but there is way more to explore before we want to get there, so we're not going to do that. But if at this point you're like, I just kind of want to, you know, beat the boss and get done with this area, then that's a nice little shortcut you can take. Alright, not going to go down that ladder, because if we come over here, we'll see this drop down. Is this pointless? Is there no item over here? Okay, not really sure what the point of this is then. Nice. Okay. Over here is a very dangerous area. There are 2 Banished Knights. One is just hiding around this corner. Oh, it's not a Banished Knight. It's a... I don't actually know what these guys are called, but they're like elite level Stormveil Knights. Ouch. That's death. Saw that immediately. Like I said, very dangerous area. Those guys can really pack a wombo combo. Alright, luckily it's daytime now. We can see everything. And then, yeah, to get back down there quickly from here, you can just jump across the way over here. Boom. And continue onward. You suck, dude. Ouch. How did that not hit him? You're so lucky. Alright. Boom. Alright. Let's get our runes back. Grab this festering bloody finger. Alright, so this takes you down into the main courtyard if you want to drop down into there. So this is the area just after the main gate at the beginning. But obviously there's some more other stuff over here we can grab first. Okay. Alright, now this fog wall can be unlocked by a stone sword key within that room. So, just another way of accessing here if you didn't do this part. Alright, and then, so up here you'll see all of these freaking exile soldiers that are just armed to the teeth with ballista and all kinds of stuff. So again, there's the main gate right there. You open that up, they're all going to fire on you. Go ahead and take these boys down though. Alright. Alright, so now we can enter this area without the fear of having to deal with those ballista. As you can see, there's still a bunch of these soldiers up here. If we come back here, grab all the items in front of the gate real quick. Then we can come to this upper part for a new site of grace, which I don't really get the point of this one, since I guess it's to, if you were to rest, those enemies would respawn and start firing the ballista again. But you're able to open the gate here by using this. So I was like, why not just use the one outside of the gate? Well, this is to avoid all those ballista, so I guess that makes sense. Alright. Okay, let's continue on. You can do a spirit summon here if you want to help with clearing out all these enemies. Woo! Ooh. Ouch. Nice. Okay. Over here in this courtyard, be forewarned, you can see that lion back there. This is a type of elite enemy. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's a freaking lion with a sword attached to its arm because, you know, why not? These things can be gnarly, so just be patient. Ouch. Man. I forget how delayed that is. That is crazy delayed. I'm not very good at fighting those guys, as you can tell. Alright, so off screen, I died to the ballista, so again, the question remains, I don't know what the point of that site of grace is when it doesn't do anything to help you with those. But here we are, lost those 15,000 runes. A little frustrating, but it do be like that sometimes in Souls games. definitely lost a lot more than that at once. Alright, lying down that time. All that is just to get this side of grace over here. That leads to the Divine Tower. This is something we're not going to be doing yet. We're not going to come here till after we beat the boss of this area. But always good to get that side of grace. Alright, then also we are not going to continue up this way, past these enemies through this gate. This takes us to the next courtyard, but we're able to get there from a better way where there's going to be more like ballista up there firing at us, so we're just not going to worry about that and go back to the Rampart Tower side of grace. And hopefully not lose 15,000 souls again. Alright, watch for the barrel throwing birds. Screw these guys. Alright. Ouch, dude. Why? Why are these guys a thing? Why, Miyazaki? So used to playing randomizers that I just forget how awful these guys are. Okay, get away, get away, get away. New. Bad. Bad. Ugh. Scariest enemies in the game. Without a doubt. Okay. Trying to decide if I want to do this now or come back. Yeah, let's just do it now. Okay, so if you come over here and look down to the side, you'll actually see that there's a point where you're able to drop down onto. Be forewarned, if you come down here, then your only way back is, you know, getting back to that side of grace. So you have to do those exploding birds again. But you're able to drop all the way down to that floor down there. Now, as you do this, when you drop down onto this point, the floor is going to collapse under you. Go all the way down. For that scarab. Okay, now if you continue on this way, there's actually a Crucible Knight. You can see him over there. That you can fight if you so desire, as well as an item. I love Crucible Knights, so I will happily fight this dude. Slash, slash. Shield scoop. Shield scoop again. Ouch. Slash, slash. Oh, here we go. Aspect of the Crucible. Jump. Boom. No slashes. And there we go. Now, beating that Crucible Knight, as you see, drops the aspects of the Crucible Horn. So those are just special Ashes of War that you can apply. And as we get up here, I can't remember if there's anything over here. I don't think there is, but let's just double check. Oh, Trina's Lily. I'll always take those. Yeah, okay. Now in here, this elevator will take us all the way up. I honestly forgot that this elevator was a thing, so I may have lied about needing to go back to the site of grace, because this takes us to above where that spear banished knight is, and back to that exact site of grace. So very cool. In that instance, we will not rest, so we don't have to do these birds again. Let's go ahead and heal up though, because there is one more up here that is designed to ambush you. See if you come over here to the side. On the other side of that tower is one of those birds. You can see there's a ton of explosive barrels here. So we're going to bait him out and then get out as soon as possible. That will insta-kill you. No problem. So please be careful. Alright. Down the stairs we go. Across the rooftop. Now we're not going to go straight in the building. Well, I mean, I guess we can. But if you come out here to the rooftop, you can drop down to this portion. Grab this item. We'll meet an NPC in here, Rogier.
Ah, the pleasure's mine. I'm looking when I'm not hot-foot enough about this place. Is not exactly a... I see.
We'll tell him we're here to defeat Godrick.
I'm tarnished, but still, I'm privy. Would you care to learn as a fellow?
Then again, if you're doing a sorcery build, he's got some options for you, and we'll be able to see him back at the Round Table Hold next time we go. Alright, a few commoners out here that we can take care of. And a banished knight. Ouch. That was a risk, just going for it, but hey, we're alive. Alright. Now if you look down, you actually see some foreshadowing as to why Rogier is right here. We're going to be able to get down all the way to that area. You can see some, can't tell if those are flames or items down there, but regardless, we'll be able to get down all the way down to that point a little bit later on. We're going to see something that happened to Rogier while he was down there. Alright. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the castle now. If you look down below here, you'll see a grafted scion. If you have forgotten what the introductory boss of the game was. And then, what do I want to do? Yeah, let's go this way. Okay. We're going to go over here, across the wall. Grab these items. You can just drop back down in that room if you want to, but it's like one or two other things we can grab while we're over here. Alright, that's where we're going to want to go. Okay, yeah, so this is that drop down point from before with that banished knight and the other dude that can be annoying to fight. We're gonna come right down here with this guy. Hello. Open this door, which can only be opened from this side. So if you pressed onward before and didn't know how to open this door, this is how. And in here is an item, stone sword key, and a chest. Alright, we're actually going to take advantage of being in here so we can get a plunge attack. Oh, or not. That was a waste. Whoop. Ouch. Thought he was going to come more forward than that. Yump. What are you doing, Mr. Commoner? Are you kidding me? This dude just randomly decides to join the battle. It was nowhere near his aggro point. Man, I'm so good at this game. I hope you're enjoying the walkthrough of me being terrible and dying all the time. Seriously, why am I sucking so bad? Alright, let's kill the Spanish knight in here. Grab this chest. Alright. Those guys shouldn't join the battle this time. Let's try to get this Grafted Scion again. Dude, how does that not hit? Yump. Nice. All right. Couple items to grab in here. All right, over here is the shortcut elevator from before that I was mentioning. Takes us back to that side of grace that we came from. Alright, we'll go back down. We come out here. This is that pile of corpses that we saw earlier. All right. Okay, so the other door over there by that painting of Godfrey, that's where you'll want to go to progress in the level. But if you want to access another part of the castle, come over here, put this stone sword key in. Grab a couple of items we've got in here. For whatever reason, this dude is out here, even though there's nothing to grab. So, don't know what that's about. Alright, and now we can progress through the next part. Okay. As you come in here, you'll want to go to the left up these stairs, because there is a commoner who's getting ready to ambush you. Hello. You can also grab this item over here. Okay, we are now at the next courtyard. This area can really suck if you're not prepared. So as you come out, just hug the left side Don't try to get out there in the middle where you're just going to get bombarded with arrows and literal flamethrowers. And getting back here will allow you to get these guys from behind. Great, now they're all calling their buddies. Woo! Ow. Boom. Alright, that does it for the enemies that are trying to ambush you. There's a few more in the courtyard, but for now we're going to continue down here. This stairway is leading back to that very main courtyard past the main gate. So as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to go up the stairs because it's much easier to handle these guys as you're coming down instead. Oh my word. What was that hitbox? Hello? And then you can see up there, this dude waiting for you with Flaming Ballista. So, no other items to get over here, thankfully, so we're just going to go ahead and continue on. Yeah, those guys can be really obnoxious. Okay, still not going to continue through the courtyard yet. So if we come over here, got a room with some rats in it. Come around the side here. Oh, maybe not. Am I remembering that differently? Maybe it's in the next room. Okay, we'll go ahead and use a stone sword key here. The Godskin Prayer Book and the Godskin Seal. Godslayer Seal, that's what it's called. Alright, and then this was the stone sword fog gate from before to that main courtyard. So, again, if you didn't go the way I went, this is a different way to access that part. Okay, let's continue on through the courtyard. Let's go to these side areas real quick. Beautiful. Okay. We're now face to face with our first omen of the game. Oh, he just killed his own dog. Alright. So I believe, this statue, we'll see that's like kind of glowing right here. I believe the design is to get the omen to do a special attack that will break it open. But I found that to be incredibly hard. Luckily, there's nothing like crazy good or anything like that in the statue itself, but I believe that's what the design is, because you can't open it yourself. Boom. Alright. We can come in here, grab another painting. probably not going to show you the locations of all the paintings, just as a heads up. Usually the rewards are pretty meh. An exception for one in the DLC that I'll definitely show you. Alright, and then we have made it to our next site of grace. Okay. Come over here, we'll see. Oh, does not open from this side. And then over here is an elevator that we're able to bring down here. That will take us to right before the boss room. Hello. That was terrible. Oh my... Hello? Alright, over here we got some warrior jars. Including a big one in the back. You can see them spinning around. Ah! Ouch, little guy. Alright, cracked pot ×2. And then, like I said, if you go down there, you can see the site of grace from here that is just right outside the boss room. But we are not going to go there quite yet. I guess we can at least hit the grace itself and have that saved. See the fog gate right there. Go ahead and touch this. We're not ready for the boss yet. There's still, surprisingly, a lot more to explore in the castle. So let's come back over here. Go back down the elevator. And now we're going to be accessing the sub area from before that I mentioned, where you can get all the way down to that lower part. We're now going to be able to do that from here by dropping down very carefully. We are going to take some fall damage from that one. That's okay. And then just want to get over onto this. Now I'm trying to remember. I believe this is the only way to access that side. Yeah, okay. So we're going to try to make this jump. Go. Usually never come over here on a casual playthrough. Got some bats. Okay, and then... Yeah, honestly, like I said, I usually never come over here, and I'm trying to remember how to get to that point up there now. But, yeah, here we are. Alright, let's continue on towards a place I actually know about. Okay. Some rats down here, and whenever there's a group of rats, there's usually a giant one. Alright, there's a couple of cerulean scarabs here. I feel like the placement of those flask scarabs is a little wonky in this game, but what do I know? Alright, as you come down to this area, an ulcerated tree spirit is going to pop up from the ground. So, be ready to fight. Oh, come on. Dude. You do get a golden seed from killing these things, though, so definitely worth the effort. What? Why are you already exploding? You're not even close to 50% health. Yet to do a grab attack, which is really weird. Ouch. Spoken. There's the stagger. Jeez. Usually these things are really easy to fight because they'll always do that grab attack that's a piece of cake to avoid, but he wanted to be different, I guess. Alright. Now, as we come over here, you'll see this face. There is so much lore going on here. I'm not really going to dive into it, but this is not the first time we'll be seeing something like this. I can grab this item, which is the Prince of Death's pustule, if that's how you pronounce it. Now, I am playing offline, so you'll notice there's a blood stain. That's not supposed to happen when you're playing offline. That's like an online only thing. So if you come over here and touch the blood stain, you'll actually see Rogier, something happens to him where he dies. Next time we talk to him at the round table hold, we'll be able to find out what. Alright, up this ladder. Fun fact, I just learned this the other day. This is the longest ladder in all of the Souls games. Pretty nuts. This thing just goes on and on and on. But gives you a good opportunity to get a full look at that face. Alright, made it back to the top, and boom. This just leads you to that stone sword placed from before. Okay, let's go back to the... let's go to the left side one. Got a few more items we can grab. Okay, back into the courtyard. We're not going to go actually into the courtyard itself, but come over here. Watch out for more sparky boom birds. Yeah, that one had a lot of health. Alright, those things are priority number one to me, because man, they can be really annoying. Alright, just an exiled dude over here to kill, along with an item. Man, now that I found that place over there, now I'm like, how do we get there? I might take a detour to find out how to do that whole section. So I'm starting to realize I don't think I've ever actually done that all the way. Alright, over here we'll meet another NPC. This is Nefeli. We can see that she is taking down a banished knight. Talk to her, blah blah blah. She's like, hey, if you're going to fight Godrick, please call upon me. So after talking to her, then her summon sign will appear in front of Godrick's fog gate. So if you need some help, feel free to summon her. Golden Seed here. Trina's Lily. There you'll see a troll with some exile soldiers. Ooh. Ouch, come on. There we go. Boom. Perfect. Okay. We've now made it to Godrick's Fog Wall. Again, Nefeli's summon sign appears here, so if you need help, go for it. Okay, gonna level up. And then, as I mentioned, I kind of want to go figure out how to do that other part of that area that I was not familiar with. So I'm going to do that a little bit off camera, see if I can find anything, and then we'll be back. I did stumble upon Godstock here. So we're on this roof above where Roger was.
Oh, great, just please.
Wow, thanks, dude.
Good, now let's wouldn't want to go.
Fun fact, this guy is actually like secretly stealing some of your souls throughout the level. So if you don't want that to happen, you can kill him right here. But he does have a quest line that you're able to progress, so we're going to leave him alive. But yeah, I'm going to keep exploring. Okay, so I think I figured it out. So this is back where the warrior jars are, just outside the fog gate. So I was looking around and I saw those little passageways. So you can jump over here and go across this part to get there. Oops. Now I don't know if this actually leads all the way over to the place I was talking about before, but it's a start. I love how I have like 700 hours in this game, and to this day I'm still learning new things about this game. Just shows how massive and just full of stuff this game is. It's so good. I love Elden Ring. Alright, so you can see a little doorway over there, but you can also see some enemies down here. An exile knight and a bird. Two awful enemies. Ouch. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a lucky double drop. Okay. You're standing over the corpse of this bird. Weird. Maybe that's a guaranteed drop from that guy. I don't know. This is all new to me. Alright, let's go through here. That's how you get this item. Aha! I think this is the way. Look at this. Learning new things, even now, on who knows what number playthrough this is of this game that I've done. Okay, I got some commoners. Ah, no. No throwing things. There's a ton of these guys in here. Okay. What is this? Surely you seek. What you seek is somewhere close by. What? What does that mean? So you can see there's Rogier. Surely what you seek is somewhere close by. I have no clue what that means. We're gonna drop down, believe this is finally going to take us to that area from before, and probably to the other side of the door, next to the side of grace. Man, well, I might have to look stuff up in regards to what that message from Rogier means. Okay, yeah, sure enough, up here is the door. Man, I can't believe... I've always seen this door, obviously, from this side of grace, but I've never actually taken the time to find out how to get to the other side until now. That's kind of wild. I'm a fake fan. Ooh, watch out for the bat. And this is an artery. Of course it is. No wonder I've never come over here. Okay. Maybe Rogier's just trying to lead us down here. Maybe this is like the correct way to get down to his bloodstain. I don't know. I might have to look that up. But there we go. We made it. Hey. Woohoo. Learning new things. Okay. We are now ready to take on Godrick. This is going to be our first Shardbearer fight, so definitely going to be a little bit more intense than most of the fights we've done, an exception for maybe Margit. You know, he's probably the closest comparison. Let's go ahead and make it daytime for cutscene purposes. Okay, physics, good. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. As I mentioned in the first episode, I'm going to skip through the majority of the cutscenes in this game, but if this is your first playthrough, obviously, you should watch the cutscenes. Alright, Godrick is actually a boss that I was able to beat on my first try on my first playthrough. So he's nothing crazy, but he is a good introduction into how some of the Shardbearer bosses are going to work. Okay, watch this. That has a ton of range. Boom. Okay, with this whirlwind attack, he's most of the time going to do that jump attack afterwards. Sometimes he'll send these little tornadoes out towards you instead. Whoa, the bleed proc. Oh, he hasn't even done his earthquake attack. Okay, this is his phase 2 transition. He's going to cut his arm. You do have the opportunity to get a couple hits in on him in the meantime. Yeah, cutscene's going to play. He's going to cut off his arm. He's going to grab the dragon head, and boom, he's upgraded. So for here, you kind of want to... we were out of stamina there, so we kind of got cooked. But if you just run to him as fast as possible and get behind the fire, then that's the easiest way to avoid it. Alright, earthquake attack. You can... oh, I did it way too early. You can jump over it or dodge through it, either one. Phase 1, he's only going to do like 2 of those things like next to each other, but in phase 3 he does 3 as you in phase 2 he does 3 as you just saw there. Watch the grab. Ooh. Yeah, that grab attack is gnarly because he'll pick you up with the dragon head and then just cook you, literally. Alright. Earthquake. Boom. And boom. And that should be it. That is Godrick. Nice and easy. Yeah, dude. Alright, as a reward, we get Godrick's Great Rune, our first Great Rune of the game, and Remembrance of the Grafted. Usually I like to end episodes with beating a boss, but I'm gonna show you a couple things that you can do now that you've beaten Godrick before we move on. Or before we end the episode, I guess I should say. Let's go ahead and level up. Let's get some more health going. Alright, so now you'll see Gostok over here, stomping on the remains of Godrick. And Gostock is now a merchant that we're able to buy stuff from. If you want to go with a good parry build, but your parrying feels tough and you can't really get it right, the buckler is a great option specifically for parrying if you're having a hard time with any other normal shield. So, good item to get from him. As you continue on through that door, that will take you to the next area of the game. But as I mentioned, there's a couple things that I want to do now that we've beaten Godrick. One of which is to go activate his Great Rune. So we're going to go to the Limgrave Tower Bridge. This is why I wanted to grab that Site of Grace earlier. We're going to start heading towards this Divine Tower. Okay, on this bridge, there's going to be a few Guardian Golems that are going to rise up and try to fight us, including one clear at the back who will be shooting arrows at us. So let's go ahead and try to take them out real quick. There's the stagger. Oh, it's on the other side. Shoot. Should be enough to kill. Yeah. Ouch, too early. Gotta watch for the arrows. Nice, that missed. Stagger. Take it down. Ouch. Alright, now we can get this guy. Now you don't need to kill these guys. You can, easily run past them, but whenever I'm going through an area for the first time, I like to take everything out if possible. Then we're going to use the Sending Gate to get teleported to the other side of the bridge. However, this is going to take us straight to the tower itself. So if we want to get to the actual other side of the bridge, we'll do some backtracking here. Bunch of birds, and I think that's the only enemy over here, are birds. Oh, I didn't want to kill the eagle. I wanted to kill the evil bird. Alright. Can't remember. I think that's it. Don't think there's another item. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now, whenever you come to a Divine Tower, there are 7 of them in the game. 1 for each of the great runes that you can obtain. Whenever you try to open one without having the corresponding great rune, it won't let you. There won't even be a prompt to open the door. But since we have Godrick's, this is where you activate his. If you're wondering how you're supposed to know which Divine Tower you go to, if you go to the Great Rune itself, it will say, seek the Divine Tower of Limgrave, which stands beyond the Great Bridge from Stormveil Castle. So just read the description of the item. It will typically tell you where the corresponding tower is to fully activate the Great Rune itself. Alright, up the elevator we go. Long elevator ride. Alright, Site of Grace we can touch here. Get a beautiful view of Caelid from here. Then if we come all the way to the top, you'll see a dead pair of 2 fingers with the Great Rune itself in the middle. And then we'll hit Restore the Power of the Great Rune. Boom. And that is now active. So once you've activated a Great Rune, or restored it, I guess I should say, you're then able to use it to your advantage by giving you specific stats when you use a rune arc. So we'll come down here to the Great Runes prompt. Go ahead and select Godrick's. Godrick's is really good, in my opinion, the second best, or for some people it's the best Great Rune in the game. You can see the item effect says raises all attributes. Crazy that for the first shard bearer, that's the effect you get. It's really, really good. But yeah, so you'll see in the top left corner, we've got that rune part of that little octagon that we've got there. That's what that is for, to show what Great Rune we have. And then if we use a rune arc, this, you can see the item effect says grants the blessing of an equipped Great Rune upon use. We'll use it, and boom, all our stats are now boosted with having that activated. So that's how that works. If you die, the effect is nullified. So just be aware, that's why the rune arcs are consumables, is you kind of want to be careful with how you're using them. Okay. Let's go back to the round table hold now that we have our first Great Rune, and we've also beaten Godrick as Rogier asked of us. Oh, now we also talk to Gronk, so we can talk to D again about that. And we can now buy incantations from him. Alright, Rogier is going to be sitting up here on this balcony. What's up?
I apologize.
So, we've got a bunch of stuff we can talk to him about. You can see I've defeated Godrick.
Well done. Something to mark the occasion.
He'll give us Roger's Rapier +8. Now, on paper, a +8 weapon right now looks amazing. However, I'm just warning you, this thing sucks. So, now, since we touched that blood stain and we saw what happened to him, we can ask about the corpse under Stormveil.
That is a sacred relic. It happened during someone stole a fragment.
So he'll give you some lore into what happened to Godwyn. We can also ask him about D because he's friends with him. And there we go. Okay. If we come over here, why is this closed? This is not supposed to be closed. That's weird. Because Gideon's in there and he's going to be like, you've got yourself a rune now, or whatever. That is really weird. I don't know why that door's closed. Nefeli's now over here.
I'm glad to see you. I found it in God. You were the one to make good use of it. I don't intend to.
And we get the Arsenal Charm. We already have the Great Arsenal Charm, so that thing's kind of useless. She tells you that Gideon is her foster father. So, a little bit of insight there. I really don't know why that door's closed. It's kind of tripping me out. But now we can see that this door is open, and the 2 fingers are inside, along with a finger reading crony. Creepy. Fingers are moving. Basically telling us we need one more Great Rune to be able to pursue the title of Elden Lord. So now this is how you get boss weapons and items, is you're able to take remembrances to her, for which you can turn them in for one of 2 choices. As I mentioned in the Weeping Peninsula episode, you can duplicate these remembrances at the Walking Mausoleums to be able, so let's say if you wanted the Axe of Godrick and the Grafted Dragon, you could duplicate it to be able to get both of them. Or just duplicate it to get more souls.
The chill tainted and
Yeah, lore, thank you. Alright. That should be it for the round table in terms of updates. Oops, meant to read that. Okay. Trying to remember if we have to take this to Roderica. Let's go ahead and try. You'd think I'd know these things, but this game's huge. So I believe we take this back to Roderica, the Chrysalids Memento.
A pleasure to did you give that I love.
Yep, there we go.
I can't.
Yeah, she's all sad because they're gone. They believed in her, and she said that she's going to go to the round table hold. So let's go ahead and go back there. And there she is.
Read it. My name isn't this around here. I never knew, although I'm still looking.
She says she's still looking for her own purpose.
You have my
She gives us a golden seed as thanks for our help. Now, if we come over here and talk to our blacksmith friend, there's a prompt from Hugh to talk about Roderica. She says she has a gift for spirit tuning. So we're going to go tell her about that.
It's all a bit. I'm still looking. You're telling me I don't believe. If I do, I suppose I'll ask my certainly. I know I can tell.
Okay, so she's like, okay. Hugh seems like a good guy. I'll go ahead and do it. And we'll tell him about that. Would you watch over her? I'll say it's what she wants. And Hugh is ever so humble, so he's like, nah, nobody wants to be around me. But next time that we rest at his side of grace now, if we go back, she is now set up as a merchant. If we talk to her, she's able to upgrade our spirit ashes. So those grave gloveworts and ghost gloveworts that you pick up in the catacombs throughout the game, those are used for this purpose exactly, to upgrade spirit ashes. So there you go. Okay, let's see if Gideon's door is open now. There we go. I still don't know why that was closed. It's so weird.
You've received, then I bid you. I am known as a tarnished. I am a you now belong. You'll be after more. Then as you're the inheritors, we of the Godrick the General.
So he's going to tell you who the shard bearers are, and if you want specific info about each of them and how to find them, then he can give you that info. There's also this prompt to talk about Nefeli. So she's like, hey, he's like, hey, she's pretty helpful. She can do some cool stuff. But yeah, if you want info about all of the shard bearers, then you're able to talk to him from here. Yeah, shut up. Okay. All right. Now that we've talked to Rogier, we can ask D about Rogier.
He was a don't let his no more. You see him now, like he's half take well. That's how you win grace.
And we're going to be able to do a big old quest line that's between both of them and Fia a little bit later on. All right. Well, that is it for Stormveil Castle. So first legacy dungeon complete. This place is huge. This took about as long as, exploring an average area of the game. Not Limgrave, obviously. Like, Limgrave is humongous. But from this point, we'll be able to access our next major area of the game, Liurnia. I anticipate that episode is going to be just as massive as the Limgrave one, because it is a very, very big area with plenty of bosses and lots to explore. So next episode will probably be pretty long. But if you found yourself watching this, really hope you enjoyed, and please like and subscribe if you can. Always helps a ton. I've been enjoying doing this, basic playthrough of Elden Ring again. It's been a long time since I've done like dedicated like step-by-step stuff, and hey, I found a whole new area of Stormveil that I'd never done before today, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, so please like and subscribe if you can to get all the videos from this walkthrough and for other of the Souls games as well. But that does it for now. We will see you next time.